It was different. It was a tough fight. You know, most people when they have their pro debut, they try to pick fights and stuff like that because easier opponent. But I didn't do that, so fought a tough guy, and it was different without the headgear, smaller gloves. I haven't fought in 2 years, so.
The 2 years, was that because of the pandemic, basically?
Yeah, it was because of the pandemic. Last time I fought, I think it was like in Virginia. It was in Virginia about 2 years ago.
And that was an amateur for sure.
Yeah, it was amateur, and also was and also it was amateur. So, but I didn't want to stay amateur no more. I just wanted just go ahead and turn pro. I'm getting a little older, so take care of business, start getting paid for it. But
since you say this fight was kind of difficult, what was your game plan coming into this fight?
My game plan was to, he's a taller dude, so obviously, get inside.
Mm-hmm.
Wanted to get inside, but God, he had some decent movement. What I thought he would have, but yeah, the game plan was to get inside, work the body.
What made it difficult for you?
At first his movement.
Mm-hmm.
At first his movement and the range. I should have fought more at my range. I don't like making no excuse or anything like that, but I was originally supposed to fight at 26, and I had to come down to 22 last minute.
Okay, what brought that on?
Opponent change.
And how much time between the change?
Like a week.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, a week, so I had to cut that extra weight off. As a professional, I got to make the weight, so anything I got to do to make that weight professional, I'm going to do it. So.
How did you feel at 122, though? Cutting that weight in a week?
Cutting it in a week, that's what did it. But if I would have known at first I was fighting at 22, and the whole training camp, I could have just got down to that, it would have been fine. I feel like I'll be best at 22 with my size and everything like that.
That was my next question. Since you fought at 22, you think you worked down because you'll be a stronger guy at 22. I think.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I would love to be at 22 for the majority of my career.
Okay. Another great fight, 3-0. So what did you think of your opponent? How long did you think it took you to actually get in your rhythm?
I don't think it took very long. I was really just trying to see what he was capable of doing in the first round, popping the jab, and I feel like I stood there a little bit too much, took some unnecessary shots. Just kind of came in a little bit recklessly. I should have used my jab a little bit more, but I was really trying to get a feel for what he was doing. By the end of the first round, I had it figured out already. I just needed to move my head a little bit more and use the jab a little bit more strategically and take it from there. So.
Did you notice what I noticed, that he was a little slow?
Yeah, he was definitely a little slow. And even though he was tall, he was crouching down a lot. He was taking his own height advantage away, which made it easier for me. But yeah, he definitely wasn't quick enough to respond. So.
When did you realize you were starting to hurt him?
The first round, the first round, like halfway through the first round, I was touching him with some shots, real clean, and I know I have some power, so if I land something flush, dude's gonna feel it, so I just had to. I feel like in some situations, I have to be a little bit more strategic versus just trying to go in there and land hard shots, So I feel like that was part of the reason why. I didn't take a lot of hits, but I took a few more. I took some unnecessary hits, just kind of put my hands up.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your win.
Yeah. So.
Congrats on your win. You were hitting them with a lot of shots, head shots, body shots. You lift weights?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard that boxing and weights don't go hand in hand. Were you all weary or tired?
Yeah, it's all about understanding what's functional. So, you have to understand that boxing is 80% rotational. So if you're going to be in the weight room, of course you need to make sure that you have like the proper foundations for lifting weights, and then make it as sport specific as possible. I'm not in the gym just trying to get, hella brolic or anything like that. Everything I'm doing is, using kettlebells or landmines or med balls, and making sure that it's going to translate to what I'm doing in the ring and not add an unnecessary bulk onto my body. So
your first three fights, were they, because you weighed in this fight, is what was it, 150?
155.
55, so you normally go fight at junior middleweight?
Yeah, I fought, all three fights have been at 154, so.
That's where you plan on staying, or do you think you can go down, or?
This fight was actually supposed to be at 147.
Okay.
But my opponent got changed, on Sunday. And I was like, okay, eat, cool. But yeah, the plan is to go down to 147. All 3 opponents that I've fought have been taller and they've had longer reach, and they've had that advantage for them. It hasn't made a difference, but it's always more ideal when you can have similar physical attributes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The first 2 fights were in Philly. This one is in DC.
Yeah.
What's it like? It's basically like your homecoming. What's it like fighting at home?
It was awesome, man. It was easy. I didn't have to travel. I didn't have to stay in a hotel. Spend all that extra money. It's good though. It's different. I think just for me being an athlete, in the past, I've always kind of preferred away games or away trips because it's a little bit easier to get into that mode when you're in the hotel. You're away from all the distractions and things like that. But either or, I've been able to be successful in both situations. So it's nice to be at home, and it's nice to have people have the event be a little bit more accessible to people that are in the area.
Right.
But I've had a great showing at all three events, and I'm really thankful for just my support system, my family, my team, and everybody that's just keeping up.
Yeah, this sport has changed so much, and especially with the COVID situation. But it gives the opportunity for a lot of young fighters with not that many fights to actually be on television.
Yeah.
So how eager are you to be one of those guys? You got 3 fights in. I've seen them with some of them with maybe 7 to 8 fights on television. So now you plan on being one of those guys?
Oh, absolutely. It's onwards and upwards. It's always looking for a way to upgrade, to take steps forward. To continue to increase the awareness around my name and around my skill set, and to continue to improve my skill set. And with that, there comes bigger challenges and bigger opportunities, and that's why I'm here. What I'm saying? It's not about being stagnant. It's about taking steps forward and finding ways to move forward in a way that makes sense for myself and for my team.
Yep. So what type of fights are you planning on taking now, since the sport is moving so fast now? Guys are taking fights that some of them take fights that they shouldn't be in, and some of them take fights that they need to be in.
Yeah.
And so how fast are you trying to move?
I think it's you got to be strategic. You got to think steps ahead. I definitely trust this guy right here, and we'll have conversations about what steps we need to take from here. But we always want to put ourselves in the best position for success and long-term success and sustainable success. And that means taking the right opportunities, and not easy opportunities, but the right opportunities. The ones that's going to challenge me and help me to continue to improve my skill set and be ready for that that next mountain that needs to be climbed.
This was a 5-day notice, so I didn't get as much of a camp out of it. So after the first round, I went to the corner, and I was like, okay, I got to establish jab. But then I started feeling my legs, I started feeling burning. So after the second round, that's why he won the second round, without a doubt. So when I went to the corner, I told my coach, like, hey, my fault, I'm sorry. I'm about to go ahead and finish it. I got no choice, because I know if we go to the 4th round, I'm going to gas out. So that's when after that, I seen that he didn't like my power, and I seen he was bleeding, so that was affecting his breathing too. So I was just putting that in my head, like, just keep hitting him with that same shot, and it worked perfectly. And I was waiting on the ref to wave it off, and then at the left side, I seen the doctor wave it off. I'm like, thank God, because if I ain't get him out of there, they'll probably took it away from me, and I'd have lost my oath.
Yeah,
Is this your first knockout?
Yeah, it's my first knockout. Yeah,
okay.
As a pro, yes.
Rashad Kilpatrick, can you? How does he compare to your first opponent?
He don't. My first opponent, he had 300 amateur fights. He beat likes of like Ryan Garcia. He fought Devin Haney. He was a very well decorated amateur. We thought he had 18 fights, and that's what the promoter had told us. So we went ahead and took it, and he was actually, you could see the experience out of him when we first fought, and it was a dog fight. So this fight here, we took it, and because we seen so many flaws that he had took. Every time I feinted at him, he was biting, and I seen he couldn't. He don't have a chin. He couldn't hit hard. He had pillow hands to me. So that's why we took the fight in 5 days. You know what I mean? It was a strategic take the fight to take. You know what I mean?
How many amateur fights have you had?
I only had 9 amateur fights.
Wow.
Yeah, I was 6-3 with 4 knockouts. That's why I just went pro. 22 is cool.
You're 22?
Yes, sir.
Okay, about that. That was a question.
Yeah.
But tell me, that first round, y'all opened up. Both of you guys would come out throwing
Oh, yeah.
bombs. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's why I thought it was going to probably be a knockout in this fight. But but taking the fight on the last minute notice, what kind of game plan can you put together for a guy like that?
I know I had to reach and the height advantage on him, so we first said we got to keep the jab. I keep the jab and keep the pressure on him. And out of the films that I saw him having, he was fighting a lot of people that really wasn't that well, and he was backing up, and he was letting them fight him off the rope, let him fight off the ropes. So I was telling myself I got to accept the pressure and put pressure on him. But then I let him come inside because I hit him with an uppercut, and that's one of my great punches that I have is my left uppercut. And I hit him the first time, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna let him think that he got me in the ropes. And I hit him again with the second one. And then I went to the corner like, he don't like that power. He don't like being here. He don't want to be here. I want to be here. That's the difference between me and him.
Yeah, I think you sound like you had a lot of confidence.
Oh yeah.
You know, I heard it because I was right there, you know, in your corner and everything. I heard you had a lot of confidence coming in. But as coaches, what did you see him to make it that adjustment, and what you guys noticed from the little bit of film y'all had on him to tell Deshaun to pick it up a little bit more, press him a little bit more?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. When he came back in the corner on the second round, I said, you know, the game plan we had, throw it out the window and get violent. And that's what he went and did. So it was all fun and games and everything, but we knew that we didn't have the right camp. Like, we didn't do the right things, you know what I mean, and get ourselves in shape because we only had 5 days. So we knew that we had to come fight mentally. So that's what I told him. I said, this is going to be a mental war for you. You have to push yourself through it. You're going to have to go through a fight if you want to take this fight. He gave me an okay. He said he wanted to take it. You know what I mean? Here.
Well, getting a win like that, what's your next fight for you guys?
Right now,
you got he was 5-0,
Yes, sir.
and you came and you stopped him. So now, what kind of fights will you guys get? You can't go backwards now.
Yeah, no, definitely not going backwards. We definitely gonna go back to the drawing boards. We get a lot of like fights. We had opportunities to fight on like PBC and the Oxford De La Hoya card. We turned those down because it was like literally like 3-day notice, 5-day notice, and I wasn't trying to get set up. You know what I mean? And then our last fight, we were supposed to fight another card today, but he backed out, and his excuse was I was a highly decorated amateur. That was you know what I mean? That was cat. But so we took this fight, and the whole time we was training, I was kind of like in a depressed mode because I was in go mode when I got signed that first contract, and I was in a depressed moment. You know what I mean? I'm at home. I take care of my grandpa. He's paralyzed, so that was my motivation. You know what I mean? Come back home and bring the chip back to him. You know what I mean? So,
All right, all the preparation was done.
It was.
All the attention. Now the night came. You performed well. Myself, I thought it was a unanimous decision. Were you shocked to hear the majority?
I did. I couldn't believe it at first, and I looked at Coach Samar. He had that face of what was that? But the other two got it right, so we got the dub. That's all that matters.
How was it feeling out that first round with her?
I was a little ring rust. It's been a while, you know, almost 2 years. So once the first round was over, I was in my groove. I was able to hear what my coaches were instructing me to do, and I was executing. So.
Did she feel like she was getting any stronger, or did you feel like you were getting stronger as the fight
I was
went
getting
on?
stronger as the fight went off, and after a couple of body shots, she was winning. So.
Did you notice when you was hitting her to the body? You thought?
Yeah, I could see it in her eyes, and I'm pretty sure I hurt her a couple times to the body with the left hand. So I was just pressing on the gas, but these 2-minute rounds don't make it any easier to.
Yeah, you was hoping those rounds go a little bit long. Yeah, it's like when you were pressing it though. That's when the bell would ring, you know.
Right. Yep. Once I pushed my foot on the gas pedal, it was time.
So this fight is done.
Yes.
So how much time are you gonna give yourself to relax and chill out since you've been training so hard?
About a day or two.
That's it?
That's it. That's all I need.
That's all?
That's all I need. A day or two, we right back in the gym because I'm staying ready.
So you and your team going to prep for the next one, find out what it's going to be?
We would just stay in shape, stay ready, and as soon as we get the call for the next one, we'll start camp and be physically, mentally prepared for that one. But I'm always in the gym, so there's not much work we need to do.
Well, give us your social media.
Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook is at Rihanna Rios. You can follow me on all three. Instagram is where I pretty much post everything, so definitely follow me on Instagram at Rihanna Rios.
All right, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I want to say congratulations. Thank you for being on the card. One thing I will say about you, when we first spoke, and you said you're from Baltimore, first thing I said to you. I was like, I watched The Wire. Oh, y'all talk like that? Yeah. When he started talking, I said, yeah, you from Baltimore. I want to definitely appreciate you. You definitely did your thing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
On the boxing side, and when I say this, I mean it. On the business side too, he did his thing. So anybody out there looking, he did his thing. So I got to commend him on that, 100%. Definitely glad you came out and headlined this card.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Anytime. I got some other cards coming up, but I just want to say thank you. Give you your time to say your thing.
Yeah, I appreciate you for giving me the opportunity, to showcase my talent and everything to my hometown. This is like my first time really, showing off for my hometown. So he gave me the opportunity to do it. I'm very grateful, and I just wishing for bigger and better things in the future. That's it.
With this fight right here, the guy, he hasn't been in the ring for 2 years and everything. But how did you come into this fight with as far as the game plan?
I was just gonna box him, because I know he liked to box too. So I was basically just going off of what he was doing, whatever he wanted to do, I was gonna do the opposite. So
it seemed like you were hitting him, but you didn't have a chance to hit him a flush shot. And
you could tell he got experience. He know how to cover real good. He know how to protect himself. Because sometimes I was trying to catch him with the uppercut, but he guarded so good. I'm like, it just would go right off his glove, slide right off. So like,
were you ever getting frustrated?
No, I wasn't getting frustrated. I just had to go another route. Go around the guard. That's why you'll see me hooking a lot to the body and to the side of his head. The uppercut wasn't there, so I had to go the other way.
He reminded me of Ernie Terrell and Emmanuel Burton at the same time.
Yeah, I never really watched them guys. No, I never seen them.
Floyd Mayweather fought Emmanuel Burton in 2001. Kind of tricky kind of guy.
Oh, like that drunken guy?
Yeah. Same guy.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have said it best. He reminded me of him, and also Ernie Terrell, who fought Muhammad Ali in the 60s with the covering up. He was hitting him, but he wasn't going nowhere. That's what I kind of saw from it. Did you think the body shots were slowing him down?
Yeah, they definitely were slowing him down, especially the stiff jab to the stomach. Every time he think he gonna come out, stop him right in his tracks, make him reset. About the time he reset, and I'm sticking the jab back in his face again. Just kept him thinking, so he could never catch on to what I was doing. And it was gonna be like that for every round.
Were you looking for the knockout?
I was trying to get a fast that, but dude had a hard head, man. Like my knuckle hurting right now. He had a hard head, but. So I gave him a good boxing clinic, so it's all good.
Any swelling in the hand or no?
No, no swelling, just a little, just hurting right now.
Okay.
I was really trying to dig him to the body, Dude was tough. I give him that, he was tough.
How do you go forward from here? You fought a guy, you're now 10-0, you fought a guy 14-7. How do you, go forward as opposed to going backwards?
Shoot, man, I just go over it with my team, the guy was 14-7. That's a okay record for me. I haven't fought in 5 months, so I take that. I've been fighting good competition lately. Whatever they give me, I'm just trying to get to that top, that top spot, whatever. So if it's taking these contenders up, these top veteran guys out, I'll do that, until I get my shot.
Jose, you used to box yourself. Now you're a coach. How did Dominic look to you? Did he execute y'all's game plan effectively?
Yeah. I definitely told Dominic, let's not go out there and try to knock him out. I told him from the beginning, let's go back to boxing. The guy's a veteran, he's older, so let's box him, let's dig him to the body, and if he goes, he goes. If he doesn't, then we take the 8 rounds.
We all watch boxing and how the COVID changed everything. The COVID gave young fighters opportunity to be on television now, and guys like yourself, fighters with 10 fights. You see them all the time. So when you sit back and see that, what do you think?
I think it's good. We staying active, even though, all the crazy stuff that was going on. Especially me. I had about 5 fights during COVID. Everybody else was home getting fat. I was working. Staying active. So it was good for me. This is my 3rd fight this year. I'm gonna do one more and then rest up until next year. Before.